Well, we're going to jump back to President Obama and his budget. He's put a new one on the table, and with it, he's seeking to find middle ground between House Republicans and Senate Democrats. Will the president be able to forge a budget compromise before another fight blows up over the debt ceiling later this summer? Janet Hook is in Washington. She has this report. Janet, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we're talking, first of all, let's put some numbers on the table here. The proposal from the president would lay out, he wants to spend $3.77 trillion, but would still leave us with a $744 billion budget deficit, slightly below last year's $845 billion, but Republicans, they want $528 billion. We're still huge numbers here we're talking about.
Right. I mean, part of the thinking behind the administration's budget is that the plan to reduce the deficit is a long-term one. And their thinking is that right now, as we're still trying to build on the economic recovery, most of their deficit reduction efforts are focused on future years. So that's why you don't see any immediate sort of slashing of the deficit right now. And also, a lot of the deficit reduction proposals that they're looking at, and in general, when you're budgeting at the federal level, if you change entitlements, the deficit reduction takes time. And so it's spread over 10 years. Also, I just think that in general, the Obama administration's goal, unlike the Republicans on the Hill, is to reduce the deficit, not to balance the budget anytime soon.
Okay. One thing that Republicans are also unhappy about, they argue that the president's budget is using, quote, savings from Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and that's, as they said, really, they're basically using it to pay for other stuff.
Right. It's sort of a budget maneuver that is very kind of abstract and kind of gimmicky, which is that they're projecting that we're going to be spending less on foreign wars, and that somehow counts as a savings. Well, the fact is, whatever Obama did, that drop in war spending was going to happen anyway.
And in any case, it wasn't funded before. But now, there are some cuts that Democrats are unhappy about. Tell us about those.
Well, part of the budget that's really different here is that Obama's offering up some cuts and deficit reduction measures that he'd really rather not do. So he's portraying this as kind of a compromise offer to Republicans. And one of the things that he's included in there is a change in the formula for calculating the inflation increases in benefits, federal benefits, including Social Security benefits.
Okay. Janet Hook.
And that's a big savings, but it's something that Democrats really don't like.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Janet.
Okay.